required for the final terms of our...
He arrived in Westminster relatively fresh-faced, but with a brief to rival the most difficult of any. A background as Director of Public Prosecutions, laying the groundwork for Keir Starmer, entering Parliament in 2015 and swiftly becoming the spokesperson for Labour on Brexit. To some, 2 years in the job may have felt like little preparation. After less than 2 years as Prime Minister, though, Starmer's time as head of government has now already been too long. The political climate has changed significantly since he led Labour into power for the first time in more than a decade and a half. The general election in July 2024 giving the party a sweeping victory and clear majority. After ending 14 years of Conservative government, Starmer promised something different.
We did it! You campaigned for it, you fought for it, you voted for it, and now it has arrived. Change begins now.
Though he was celebrated by many inside the Labour Party, it was perhaps abroad where he had the most success. A steady voice on Ukraine and moving the UK back closer to Europe post-Brexit were areas where he gained credit.
I'd like to update the House on my visit to the Gulf.
So too his stance on the war in Iran, defying calls on the right at home to join the US in its campaign against Tehran. He trod a fine line too with Donald Trump as well, sometimes defiant, often friendly, and occasionally obliging.
We all know the great Prime Minister of the UK, and we just signed a document. This is... Sorry about that. This is it.
Yet his tenure as Prime Minister is likely to be remembered in part for scandal. The appointment of Peter Mandelson as UK ambassador to the US became a weight Starmer struggled to wriggle free of. Mandelson sacked over his ties to sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Appointing him considered a significant error in judgment by the government and by the Prime Minister himself. Starmer struggled too with the UK economy. Though returning the country to modest growth, many never felt things improving for them. Repeated failures to cut government spending compounded later by rising energy prices and an enduring cost of living crisis. That culminated in an historic loss in local elections at the start of May.
I know that people are frustrated by the state of Britain, frustrated by politics, and some people frustrated with me.
Starmer's time in office may have been relatively short, but even as Britain confronts the prospect of a fourth Prime Minister in 4 years, too many believed it was time for change again. Joel Flynn, TRT World.
Thank you all very much.